Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video where I'll be showing you some of my Ultra League battles with this squad we put together of Poliwrath, Shadow Drapion, and Heliolisk. Now, a common line I've seen some people running is Poliwrath and then double Dark Poison in the back, so Drapion and then Shadow Skuntank. I don't personally have a Shadow Skuntank or a Skuntank built for the Ultra League, so I decided to substitute it with this Heliolisk. It kind of functions the same way. You can lure out a potential Swampert or ground type in the back with the Drapion, hopefully, and then have Heliolisk as sort of your sweeper in the back. Electric is also a bit of a core breaker to a lot of teams, and Poliwrath we keep on running because it is quite strong right now in not just the Ultra League, but the Great League as well. And we're going to see a nice lead and swap situation here as Poliwrath doesn't take out the Swampert, but lures the opponent to swapping into Cobalions. That was kind of interesting. They probably were better off just staying in and sacrificing their Swampert, but instead they felt like they were better off going into Cobalion, and we are going to actually come in with our Drapion here because we need to preserve our Poliwrath to deal with the Swampert. So you might be thinking, Rise, why the heck would you come in Drapion into a Cobalion? Well, we kind of had to do something there. Otherwise, we wouldn't have an answer left to deal with the Swampert. So we maintain our alignment here. Got to come in with Poly. And we are punching away. Scald is going to come through here, does some really nice damage to Swampert. And at this point, like, there's no reason for him to not Earthquake me, so I just decided to shield it up. Then I'll have a 2-on-1 fast break in the back, and it is a Talonflame. I do the Icy Wind bait. I feel like he kind of has to shield, and even if he doesn't, our Volt Switches are going to really add up here. So Heliolisk going to have a fun time here in the back. I'm going to let it go, assuming he Flame Charges first. And he actually flies me, so this opponent, I don't know. They might have been a little less experienced because I think their best course of action was just staying in Swampert against Wrath. It's not a great situation, so I can understand it's a confusing spot to be in. But if they had just stayed in that back line could have been some trouble with the Cobalion. We see Regice here. I remember this battle. Regice, I was so shocked to see a Regice in the Ultra League, and I'm thinking like, that was fast. That can't be like a Zap Cannon. And then I'm like, oh wait, it doesn't run Zap Cannon, it runs Thunder. It runs Thunder. I still probably wouldn't have shielded anyway, but who knows? Maybe I would have if I remembered it was running Thunder. Our opponent makes a nice catch onto Cresselia, so our opponent's just outplaying the heck out of us right now. But fortunately, we have some really favorable alignment. I'm gonna go for a Crunch here. Drapion loves this matchup against Cress. And Crunch doing some big-time damage. We're going to let the first one go, see if he has Moonblast, and he doesn't have Moonblast, which makes this even more dominant for Drapion. So I'm going to overfarm quite a bit. I'm willing to take another move if I can farm up more energy here. Hits us with a Grass Knot. I'm just under 100 energy, and going to go for the Aqua Tail here. Is this enough to knock out Cress? It is. In comes Swampert, so it's a good thing we farmed up extra so we can really threaten this Swampert with our energy. And I actually decided to hard swap in. Opponent catches on Regice, just outplaying the heck out of me, but our team is just like really bad for his team. So we're going to shield this up. If I was to let this go, it could spell a little bit of trouble, to be honest. But we should get the full counter down here. And if I can debuff that Swampert, I think it should be smooth sailing. You could argue I should have just committed to a fast move down at this point. But I go for the Icy Wind. And Swampert's going to throw a move. This is still a little bit awkward, to be honest, because our Drapion has 0 fast move pressure for the Swampert. Our Heliolisk running Volt Switch is going to be kind of slow to fast move down as well. So I'm debating what I want to do here. I decided to come in Drapion, throw my Aqua Tail. And it looks to me like Drapion should reach another Aqua Tail. So I think what I do is I build up. And I went for a catch. Surprisingly, he didn't throw. And then we're just going to let him Earthquake us. And dude, he undercharged that Earthquake because Earthquake, I looked it up afterwards, one shot. He perfectly undercharged the Earthquake to get extra farm and nearly won the game because of that. So, like, that is an example. Our opponent outplayed us really badly, and luckily we just had a very, very favorable team comp. Like, that game should not have been that close, to be honest, but our opponent played it so well, it came down to the very end. That was, let's see, who was that trainer if I backtrack here? What was their IGN? Patito 1502. Not familiar with that trainer, but they outplayed the heck out of us, and we luckily had a core breaker in our Poliwrath. That was the reason that we won the game. So I think that's what I was talking about. This little pause here with my chat. And let's go on to the next one. Not familiar with this trainer either. Poly into Gengar. Not a great matchup for my Wrath, so I safe swap, and I'm met by an opposing Poliwrath. This is pretty rough. So the only positive I can think of right now in this situation, and this is something you should think about if you're getting kind of hard countered in a game, in the lead and then the swap scenario, they like have two really good answers. It's like, what advantage can I get out of this situation? So I'm thinking the only advantage I can get out of this situation is a farm down with my own Poliwrath, and then use that energy to threaten shields on the Gengar. So I'm going to come in, get a big farm on my Poly. I'm not really threatened by opposing Poly's moves, unless they're running like Dynamic Punch. Which, by the way, I feel like kind of has play as well. It's hard to not have Scald, but... And then check this out. Our opponent actually comes in with Virizion. Does this open up maybe any potential win cons? He also throws on Improper Timing, giving us a free counter. We're going to shield up. Going to throw after 1 for Proper Timing. This is where my Poly would honestly prefer to be with my Icy Wind coverage as opposed to Gengar. Debating whether I want to shield this point. I've debuffed him twice, so I figure I can live. I throw after 1 to make sure he doesn't catch on me. Icy Wind, does it grab a shield? It does. I'm going to be patient here. And I call that he's going to catch. So I actually am able to bank the Icy Wind. And we should be in a good spot here. I wasn't really counting Gengar, so I got kind of scared it could be a Focus Blast. But it's just a Shadow Ball. So that was a little bit embarrassing. He wins CMP here, but I know this isn't enough for a Focus Blast. So once Shadow Punch is revealed, you're going to see me fully undercharge here, because my Heliolisk just completely walls the Gengar. It's running triple Ghost moves, so I am not threatened in the slightest. He gets to another Shadow Punch, totally fine. We're going to come out with 100 energy and be able to Breaking Swipe right away. And Virizion would have had to like throw energy right away to potentially live and take us out, and then we would have just Icied the Virizion. So, Virizion did throw right away and live, but Sacred Sword, I don't know if they undercharged that or if that's just how much it did after the debuff. Actually, I don't know if we even got debuffed. I wasn't paying attention. If we debuffed him, rather. Since Breaking Swipe is a % chance now and not automatic. But G to the G. And a little, like, teaching moment there. We try to balance the content on the channel, like half entertainment for y'all, shoutcasting, and then also, like, how to improve your game, places to learn. Sometimes Rise plays like an absolute noob. Sometimes he wins some games here and there. And I see our opponent makes a terrific catch on their Tapu Fini, so they're making us look silly right off the bat. But we do have a solid answer for Tapu. Unfortunately, our only threatening charge move takes us a while to get to. So I Breaking Swipe here, and I'm like, and then I undercharge it because I'm like, it's not going to KO. It's not going to KO anyway, so I might as well just get more farm. I come out with all this energy loaded, expecting Dragonite to potentially come in, and check this out. I throw Breaking Swipe right away. Our opponent got denied. That's very unlucky for our opponent. But then he swaps in D-Knight, which I think is a bit of a mistake. I think he should have stayed in with the Talon, because he probably didn't realize I was going to get off 2 here. He probably thought I was only going to get off 1. But me getting off 2 here is pretty massive because now I can come in with Poly and double debuff Dragonite. I'm not sure if we'll have to shield or not. It looks like we can take 2 here because of those double Breaking Swipe debuffs. Oh, he goes for the superpower. Super smart, but we still get it off, luckily, because his attack would have been 3 times debuffed at that point. So the Dragon Breath didn't do as much as they normally would. Gonna come in here with Drapion. And Drapion is just so spammy to Aqua Tail. I can actually afford to shield because he's still gonna be... The most he can throw at me right now is a boosted Fly or a boosted Flame Charge, which I felt like I would live. And I almost throw the game by swapping in because I felt like he had to throw there anyway. But luckily the Volt Switch KO'd. And apologies for the flickering there that you're seeing a little bit. I invested in an Elgato like game capture recently, and for some reason with the cord, when you like move the phone, sometimes the screen flickers a little bit. So something I'll see if I can figure out. I have to keep it like pretty dang steady, otherwise I seem to deal with that. But here we are. We led into the Lantern. We swapped Drapion. They stayed in for a while, and then they eventually swap in G-Weezy. Now, we don't have a great response to G-Weezy. If we had Sludge Bomb, this would be better, but we will be able to spam off Aqua Tails at least. So we'll build a chip away. I figure I probably live a Brutal Swing, so he probably has to go for a heavy-hitting move here to knock us out, and it is a Play Rough, which tells me he's probably not running Overheat. And he gives me a free sneak here, which is kind of nice. Now I'm going to shield and completely farm down. So we're going to come out of here with a ton of energy. Heliolisk going crazy. Going crazy. Oh, and we come out with all this Breaking Swipe energy for this Giratina. This is really good. The question now is, though, like, when do I swap? When do I, like, utilize my Poliwrath at this point? We know there's a Lantern waiting for it. He actually does me a favor and swaps in the Lantern. To be fair, he probably had to, right? Because if I was going to keep on debuffing him, he probably would have been in an even worse spot. So this is probably what he had to do. And, dude, our Heliolisk just going to absolute town here. I think if I remember correctly, I get greedy here with the overfarm. Yeah, I should have thrown my Breaking Swipe to not have to expend this shield. I wasn't sure if that Volt Switch would KO as well, so actually wait a second to see if the Volt Switch KO'd, because I want to get this off right away to debuff Giratina, potentially. And it lands. He wins CMP. We don't get the debuff, but our Poly is so healthy. We should be fine here. He still has a shield to hide behind, but these counters will slowly add up. And hopefully we can slowly punch down the Ghost type. If this was the main series, we might have been in trouble because we'd be doing 0 damage. But in Pokemon Go, double resisted damage in that situation. We managed to go 5-0. Let's go. In the Ultra League with Poliwrath, Shadow Drapion, and Heliolisk. Fun little team. Maybe I'll try it again on stream today. And yeah, I've been getting that little glitch as well. Have any of you guys gotten that glitch where I don't know if it's just me or if you guys get it too, but like you finish your Go Battle League set and you try and claim your Pokemon reward, and then it oh, look at that sneaky peek. I don't know if you're gonna watch this, but one of my someone I met back home, a local in Wisconsin, gifted me a ticket to the event. Anyway, the Wooloo, sometimes when you collect your Go Battle League reward, like the Pokemon, it runs away and then I have to restart the app to catch it. Not a huge deal, but a little bit of a glitch. And it was actually the Phalanx, not the Wooloo, it appears. But this is all just nonsense. Heliolisk was the theme of this video, and he put in a lot of work. Even though Breaking Swipe got nerfed, I think Heliolisk is still good in the Ultra League because of its typing, its moveset. Tends to core break quite a few common Pokemon in the meta, like Talonflame, like Shadow Claw Giratina. among others. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you are new here, comment down below. All comments help out the YouTube algo. And all that said, thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.